The first layer we're starting with is the skin. This is going to be the bottommost layer. Now, just in case, to make sure that my pencil marks aren't showing later, I'm flipping my image upside down to trace it, and technically I would also be flipping the construction paper upside down. Since this is a solid color, this part doesn't matter. But I'm tracing out the entire shape. It doesn't have to be completely perfect because you're going to attach other pieces of construction paper on top for hair, clothing, and other details. Now, if your person is bald, then the top of the head you definitely do want to make sure is pretty perfectly cut. Now, the method I'm using, I am cutting out the other large shapes and tracing those on the other colors of paper. So I separated the hair from the body and then the clothing, and pick a color for the hair. I trace that out and then I'm going to cut it. Make sure you're rotating the paper as you're cutting to get a smoother cut. It takes some practice. I also added a little bit of red paper for the shadow under her neck. Now I'm making the clothing. If you noticed, I used my imagination. I rounded out the shoulders. What shape would they have? Just continue the line in the direction it's already going. And then I cut out the neckline of her shirt. Now, as I'm gluing down her hair, I glued down one side and then in this moment realized, oh no, I messed up. I forgot a piece of her clothing. So I did not glue down the other flap of hair. I forgot the vest. So I'm going to have to make the vest and fix my mistake. I did that off camera, so here it is. I very carefully peeled the hair up to minimize any paper tearing, and then glued that in. Next, I'm going to start on my dad. So this is a portrait of my parents when they first started dating in the 1970s. So I already have his skin cut out. We're working on his shirt. And then I wanted to make sure that I also have the arm of his shirt. So my extra paper, my scrap, I'm gonna cut out an arm. Now I kind of freehanded it. I just looked at the photo and cut out an arm and added that to his shirt. So I'm gluing them onto the background in the order that they need to be for overlap purposes. And now I'm going to work on the guitar. Now this is another method just for tracing, so I'm not having to cut out a million shapes. I did have to piece back together the guitar with a little tape so I could get, you know, the right size and shape, right dimensions. In hindsight, though, I probably should have just used this tracing method for the entire artwork. So maybe I'll redo this in the future and post a new video. Cutting this out was probably the easiest shape to cut. And then placement, where does it go? What looks right? What's the right angle? Done for now. Still needs a few other finishing touches, but I'm satisfied for today.